So it's official. Nikki's out. She left. She did not actually endorse Trump, but she did mention him. Play a little bit of that here in SOT 1.
I congratulate him and wish him well. I wish anyone well who would be America's president. Our country is too precious to let our differences divide us. I have always been a conservative Republican and always supported the Republican nominee. But on this question, as she did on so many others, Margaret Thatcher provided some good advice when she said, quote, "Never just follow the crowd. Always make up your own mind." It is now up to Donald Trump to earn the votes of those in our party and beyond it who did not support it.
And just a nit, Rich, it's as somebody who reads a lot of prompter and has for, the past 20 years, there really is sort of an art form to it, and she doesn't have it. Every sentence can't sound
right.
Yeah, well, you can't. Every sentence can't sound like you're addressing a third grade class. As Margaret Thatcher said, "This is the way it should be."
That's a pretty good impression.
Right?
That's
it's just
good.
Annoying. You can tell she's reading, and what it telegraphs is this is not sincere. This is inauthentic. I don't believe she believes anything she's saying. This is just something someone wrote for her. Maybe she does believe it. I'm just saying this is the effect on the listener. And truly, it is one of the reasons why she didn't resonate, because this is how she kind of always sounds. But anyway, she's gone. So what do you make of it?
Well, she overperformed. She ran a good campaign, a much better campaign than any of the other non-Trump candidates, including very much Ron DeSantis. I discounted her at the beginning, didn't pay a lot of attention to her, and she kind of shouldered her way in with some debate throwdowns with your future guest here, Vivek Ramaswamy, and then just owned a part of the party. Now, a 25%, 30% part of the party, but that was more than DeSantis had, and it was enough when the conditions were just right to get kind of close to Trump, in New Hampshire, and respectable in South Carolina. But she could spend a lot of money and a lot of time in those places. And she was from South Carolina, New Hampshire lined up ideologically for her pretty well. But that wasn't true of the rest of the calendar. And as the contest started coming more quickly, then her results were kind of regressing towards her national poll standing against Trump, which was like 15%. So she was there a couple places last night, but she did better than that. But that's where she was heading, and this was clearly there's no reason to stay in. I'm surprised she lasted this long, and she's gotten out. I'm not sure how this non-endorsement, Trump's got to earn it thing is going to work. Is he really going to earn it? In her terms, is she just done with being a Republican politician? Is not going to endorse? I don't know. So she may have created a kind of a box canyon for herself there.
She's a politician, so she's going to endorse eventually, and she's going to take a post in his cabinet or administration if he offers it. That's my prediction. They never put money on a politician holding to principle. Like, that's just not where the smart money is. They protect themselves and their political longevity. And I get it. That's a different game they're in. But there's zero chance she's not going to ultimately endorse him and go back and kiss the ring if he wins. She wants a political career.
Yeah, I would think she wants to run again in 2028, and she has to endorse. Given that, I would have just endorsed today. I don't see I'm not sure how much leverage she has over Trump. I just would have done it in the way DeSantis did. Do it in a dignified way. Do it in a way you're not going to be the Veep, so you're not going to be standing behind Donald Trump like Tim Scott, with pom poms and all that. But just do it and get it over with, and then the question is done and you move on. And, Nikki Haley's proposition thought here is she'll be the I told you so candidate if Trump loses. Now, there's some chance that he will lose, but no one's going to want to hear I told you so. And it's going to be 10 years since she was UN ambassador. And, her favorable ratings weren't that high this time around. I don't see a future for her unless it's with a position with Trump, which would be awkward given what she said. It's not just like, I don't like the way he conducts himself, or I don't like his trade policy. It's like he's not up for this anymore, So that's a little harder to get around.
And yet, Trump is very good at forgiving people and moving on. Basically the way it goes with Trump generally is he does something outrageous, then they say something not nice about him, and then he forgives them because he wants them for some reason, and he's willing to look past their responsive slight after he attacked them. I mean, that's generally the pattern, but that's, whatever. So I think they'll probably make up because he really does need her voters. He needs every single Republican he can get to win this race, and independents who are more attracted to her. I don't think he's going to kiss her ring, though, at any point soon. He didn't last night. He didn't mention her. Oh. He was posting on Truth Social negative things about her. And so I think there's room for them to make up. But this is, for what it's worth, this is how he sounded last night. It wasn't about her. It was about how things are going to go for him on a go-forward basis. And he took a shot at Joe Biden. Here it is. I think it's SOT 7.
And they're coming from rough places and dangerous places. And we had that shut down. We had everything going so beautifully. When Joe Biden goes to the beach, because somebody on his staff thinks he looks very good in a bathing suit, until he can't get his feet out of the sand or lift the chair, which weighs about 9 ounces. Joe Biden, if he would have just left everything alone, he could have gone to the beach. He would have had a tremendous success at the border and elsewhere.
I mean, he's so good at picturing, like, he calls up the image we all have in there. Everyone saw that picture. Yep,
the skeletal figure struggling with the lawn chair. And that's fine. I think mockery has a place in politics. And he's absolutely right about the border. And this is just, I wrote about this the other day. February 2nd, 2021, within 2 weeks of being inaugurated, Biden issues this executive order. This is one executive order. He had many others on the border, but must have repealed 10, a dozen Trump proclamations, policies, statements. Most important, Biden made it his policy to repeal Remain in Mexico and these safe third country agreements. Safe third country goes within days. Blinken says it's gone. And then there's a legal struggle over Remain in Mexico. But they fought to end Remain in Mexico. They fought in court to end Remain in Mexico. Mayorkas had to reissue an executive order repealing it. And everyone knew it was going to blow up the border, open it up, create a disaster. They were warned. It was predictable. And they did it anyway. And that's all going to be around Biden's neck in November.
Let's discuss a crucial aspect of your financial health, your credit report. It's time to face a hard truth. Your credit report could be suffering due to unfounded, reputation-damaging claims. These are the kind of claims that simply will not hold up under rigorous scrutiny. And that's where Lexington Law Firm comes into play. For less than $100, Lexington Law champions your cause, using a comprehensive arsenal of consumer protection laws to fight for your best credit report. Lexington Law is fully equipped to challenge those exploitative creditors who also work with the aggressive debt collectors, and they obstruct your financial path and future. Go and visit lexingtonlaw.com for a complimentary credit assessment. Let their experts place your credit under the microscope, ensuring it reflects your true financial story. Remember to mention that Megyn referred you. Again, that's lexingtonlaw.com. Empower yourself with the right team on your side. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.